Hello and welcome to Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures on what is a very mild morning here on my allotment, and there's no frosts this morning, which is a lovely thing, which means I'm inside my greenhouse and I'm going to try and experiment in the next few months. I'm going to experiment with peas this year. I've always grown peas. I love peas. In fact, the nation loves peas. Do you realise we've got 70,000 football pitches of land in this country filled with peas? The average person in this country eats about 9,000 peas a year. Can you imagine that? 9,000 peas, incredible. And they've been here for a long time, way back before the Romans came to the country. We were growing peas. It was wild and it was in the hedgerows and everywhere, and they were just picked and eaten and put into stews, into pottages, so into like soups. Not really eaten as a pea. Anyway, I distract myself. I'm here, as I say, in my greenhouse, and I'm going to do an experiment. I'm going to plant peas now. They say, apparently, in the old folklore, if you can put your finger into your soil, then you can plant the peas. So in fact, I could plant them outside because my soil actually is lovely at the moment. It's not frozen and very easy to dig. Not too wet either, which is rather nice. Now, peas. Well, my experiment's going to be, I'm going to plant some here, in my greenhouse, direct into the soil, and I've got my rows ready, and I've been in here this morning and I've had my little hoe with the spikes on the end, and we've got it really nice and fine. So these ones are just going to pop in, and well, I've got two rows here about 12 inches apart, and these are dwarf variety peas that I'm planting here, and they're really simple and easy. There you go, look at that, all done, dropped in the hope now we're going to have some pea plants and one up there in the future. Now this row I'm going to leave because there's another bit of folklore is, and in this tin here I've got some water and I've put some peas, dried peas, and pop those in as well. I'm going to leave those overnight and let them swell up, and apparently that gives them a bigger advantage over the ones that are just going to go into the ground dry, because they don't have to soak up the water before they start germination. These tomorrow hopefully will be a lot bigger and plumper, and we'll film that for the next episode. So peas, aren't they wonderful things? James Martin, actually the TV chef, he doesn't like growing peas. It's a waste of time. They're cheap to buy. Well, of course they are, but the fun of growing your own is it's fun, and you can get away with just having experiments like this. This greenhouse had lots of tomatoes and cucumbers in last year. So this is going to be my little experimental greenhouse. I'm having peas and some other vegetables. I'm going to transplant my cauliflowers into here, which means I can keep a good eye on them. And we're going to put a lovely mesh over the doorway to keep those cabbage white butterflies away. So hopefully, and all the aphids will hopefully keep away from the things we're growing inside here. I might have a go with squashes this year. Now, peas. Well, apparently they found some of the earliest peas in a cave called the Spirit Cave in Thailand, and that's about 9,750 BC. And how did we get them in this country? Well, people, as I say, they always go back to the Romans, don't they? But apparently they were here before the Romans, although the Romans did have them and they used them in all of their cooking. But we never really got to grips with it. They were called field peas at first, which meant, of course, that they were just grown in fields. They weren't really grown as I'm growing here in my own garden. People didn't cotton on to that really. They weren't really bothered about until about the Tudor times, and then they started doing it in their own gardens. But in the Tudor times it was a delicacy for the rich. They ate both the peas and of course the pods. I mean, we have mange too, which I suppose are podless peas, and well, it's been around a long time. Do you like peas? Because I really do. Well, the peas are in the greenhouse, and we'll look forward to seeing the results of that over the next few days, and we'll get those in the ground. Well, I've been very lucky here on the allotment. I've been donated this down to the allotment from a viewer called Richard, and I thank you very much for this. I've always wanted a structure like this, but never got around to trying to beg, borrow, or even, as they say, steal one. Not that I would, of course. But this, what am I going to do with it? Well, this is going to be my salad station this year. I'm going to put all my salad in here. So in the bottom, I'll put my cucumbers, and then in these two trays here, a variety of lettuces and some trading tomatoes and possibly radish. And I know Saffron and Barnaby in Glastonbury, you grow radishes, and very well too. I've seen some of the photographs that you send here on the allotment. I'm going to line it all, of course, And then into the soil I'm going to put some of those crystals that hold the water, because it's very important when you have any structure like this, or hanging baskets or things on walls, that you keep it watered really well, because the problem is in the sunshine they dry out really quickly. They've nowhere to hide, as it were. So yes, we're going to have a mixture. It'll be really lovely. I've got about 6 or 7 different varieties of lettuce, from the normal ones we see, the green salad leaves, and right through to the fiery peppery ones I've got this year. So looking forward to all the mixture and the varieties of that. So that's my job this week, to get it lined and sorted out, painted of course as well, and or even just stained. It's quite nice in the wood form, isn't it? Before I go today, I'd like to leave you a little poem written by Spike Milligan, and it's all about how he eats his peas. Ladies and gentlemen, The Pea by Spike Milligan. I eat peas with honey. I've done it all my life. It makes the peas taste funny, but it keeps them on my knife. Spike, thank you very much for that. It's brilliant. I love all your poems. They're great. Well, once again, thank you very much for watching Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures, and thank you for joining me each week here on the allotment. Soon we'll be going to 2 shows a week. Yes, we'll be going back to the Wednesday show, because there's so much now in the next few months. So from February onwards, hopefully we'll get 2 shows a week in, because, well, there's just so much to cover. And well, I'll let you go now. I'll see you next time here on Jeremy's Yorkshire Allotment Adventures. Ta-ra for now.